There are many claims that travel quickly through human minds, especially in times of uncertainty. Some of these claims are wrapped in mystery, others in fear, and some in hope. One such idea speaks of simple household substances, salt and urine being used in tests, or rituals said to reveal hidden energies, cleanse negativity, or expose unseen forces in life. But when we look deeply, without attachment and without fear, we must ask a quiet question. Is this truth born from observation and understanding? Or is it born from imagination, repeating itself until it sounds like fact? In the world we live in, salt is a natural mineral. It has physical properties that can be measured. It dissolves in water, affects taste, and plays a role in biology. Urine is a biological waste product, composed of water, salts, and compounds the body removes. These are not mystical substances carrying hidden messages. They are part of the natural functioning of life. Science observes such things carefully. It sight does not rely on symbolism alone. It tests, repeats, measures, and verifies. When salt and urine are combined, any changes that occur are explained through chemistry, concentration, temperature, impurities, and reaction with air or container surfaces. There is no confirmed scientific evidence that such mixtures reveal spiritual conditions, financial destiny, or unseen energies in a person's life. Yet, why do such ideas become popular? Because the human mind seeks meaning beyond uncertainty. When life feels unstable, simple explanations feel comforting. A ritual is easy to perform, a belief is easy to hold, and when something appears to work once or twice by coincidence, the mind remembers success and forgets failure. In this way, myths grow quietly like vines around a tree until they seem stronger than the trunk of truth itself. But wisdom invites something different. It invites observation without exaggeration. It asks us not to reject curiosity, but to balance it with reason. Not everything old is false, and not everything viral is true. The middle path is to examine claims carefully before accepting them as reality. If a method truly reveals hidden forces, it should remain consistent under testing. It should not depend on belief, mood, or suggestion. Truth does not change when attention changes. It remains steady, like a flame that does not flicker when the wind of opinion passes. So when we hear claims of salt and urine, revealing unseen energies or transforming life conditions, we can pause and gently separate symbolism from science. Symbolism may have cultural meaning, but it is not the same as physical truth. Real transformation of life comes not from external mixtures, but from clear action, disciplined thought, and understanding of cause and effect. Health improves through proper care. Circumstances improve through effort, learning, and patience. The mind becomes lighter, not through superstition, but through clarity. In the end, the invitation is simple. Observe carefully, question respectfully, and do not allow viral ideas to replace direct understanding. What is real does not need exaggeration. What is true does not depend on fear or mystery. Walk with awareness. See things as they are, and let understanding be your guide rather than the echo of rumor. Salt and urine are natural substances, not mystical tools. Science explains them through biology and chemistry, not hidden spiritual signals or energies. Salt and urine are both ordinary parts of the natural world. Yet, online claims often give them meanings far beyond their real properties. Salt is a simple mineral composed mainly of sodium chloride. Widely studied in chemistry and essential for human life in controlled amounts. Urine is a biological waste fluid created by the kidneys as the body filters excess water. Salts and unwanted substances. When these two are combined, any visible changes such as cloudiness, separation, or odor shifts can be explained through basic chemical reactions, concentration differences, temperature, and exposure to air or containers. There is no verified scientific mechanism showing that such a mixture can detect energy fields, reveal hidden spiritual conditions, or influence life events like finances or relationships. These interpretations belong to belief systems rather than experimental science. The spread of such ideas is often fueled by social media, where dramatic or mysterious claims gain attention faster than careful explanations. Human psychology also plays a role, because people tend to remember moments that seem to confirm a belief, while ignoring times when nothing happens. Over time, this creates the illusion of accuracy. However, when examined through controlled testing and repeated observation, these claims do not hold consistent results. Real understanding comes from separating natural chemical behavior from symbolic or emotional interpretations, and recognizing that meaning assigned by belief is not the same as measurable truth in the physical world. No scientific evidence supports viral claims. Claims that salt and urine mixtures reveal destiny, energy, or hidden truths are not backed by reliable testing or experiments. When examining viral claims about salt and urine, it is important to understand how human thinking can easily mix observation with interpretation. People often encounter simple home-based tests that appear to show unusual results, and these moments can feel convincing. However, what is being seen is usually the outcome of natural processes rather than hidden forces. Urine contains water, urea, salts, and other dissolved compounds, and its behavior changes depending on temperature, freshness, and contact with different materials. Salt, on the other hand, can dissolve, crystallize, or react subtly depending on the surrounding condition. When these substances are mixed, changes such as sediment formation, odor variation, or layering can occur naturally without any external meaning attached to them. The challenge arises when the mind assigns symbolic significance to these changes, assuming they represent energy shifts. Science does not support such interpretations because they cannot be consistently measured, repeated under controlled conditions, or verified independently. Instead, they rely heavily on suggestion and personal belief. Social media often amplifies these ideas, presenting them in dramatic ways that feel powerful or mysterious. This can lead people to trust appearances over evidence. A more grounded understanding comes from recognizing that physical reactions follow chemical and biological laws. And while meaning can be culturally or personally assigned, it should not be confused with factual cause and effect. In nature, why such myths spread easily? People are drawn to simple rituals and symbolic explanations, especially during uncertainty or stress, and coincidence often gets mistaken for proof. The popularity of salt and urine tests reflects a deeper pattern in human behavior, the desire to find hidden meaning in simple events. When life feels uncertain, people are naturally drawn toward explanations that feel immediate and personal, even if they are not scientifically grounded. In such situations, a small physical change, like crystals forming, liquid separating, or a shift in smell, can be interpreted as something significant. However, these effects are generally explained by basic principles of chemistry and biology. Urine composition varies from person to person, and even throughout the day depending on hydration, diet, and health. Salt interacts with water and other compounds based on solubility and environmental condition. These are predictable physical behaviors, not indicators of unseen energies or life outcomes. Despite this, viral content often frames these reactions as tests of negativity, fortune, or spiritual condition. This framing works because it combines mystery with simplicity, making it easy to believe and share. Science, however, requires consistency, repeatability, and independent verification before accepting any claim as valid. If a phenomenon cannot be reliably reproduced under controlled conditions, it remains outside scientific explanation. The key difference lies in interpretation, where belief assigns meaning to coincidence. Science looks for measurable causes. Understanding this distinction helps prevent confusion between symbolic storytelling and actual natural law, allowing clearer thinking in a world full of rapid and often misleading information. Science relies on testing, not belief. Real truth must remain consistent under repeated observation, not change based on emotion, expectation, or suggestion. A major reason salt and urine myths continue to circulate is because they often feel like they provide control over uncertain situations. When people face stress, financial pressure, or emotional confusion, they may look for simple actions that promise quick answers. A mixture of everyday materials can seem powerful precisely because it is accessible and easy to perform. However, accessibility does not equal accuracy. From a scientific perspective, any changes observed in such mixtures are the result of physical and chemical interactions. Evaporation, crystallization, bacterial activity, and impurity reactions can all create visible effects that might appear unusual, but are completely explainable through natural laws. The problem arises when interpretation replaces investigation. Instead of asking what physically caused the change, the mind may jump to conclusions about energy shifts or unseen influences. This is strengthened by anecdotal sharing, where people describe personal experiences without controlled conditions. Such stories can feel convincing, but lack the structure needed for scientific validation. In contrast, real science depends on repeatable experiments, peer review, and measurable outcomes that remain consistent regardless of belief. When these standards are applied, claims about salt and urine revealing hidden truths do not hold up. Understanding this helps separate emotional comfort from factual reliability, allowing individuals to make decisions based on evidence rather than suggestion or fear-driven narratives circulating online. True life improvement comes from action and understanding. Health, success, and peace come from discipline, learning, and awareness of cause and effect, not from superstition or viral rituals. The final and most important point is the need for clarity between belief, symbolism, and scientific fact. Many viral ideas about salt and urine persist, not because they are proven, but because they are repeated frequently and presented in emotionally engaging ways. When something is shared widely, it can begin to feel true simply through repetition, even without evidence. This is a known psychological effect, where familiarity is mistaken for accuracy. In reality, scientific truth does not depend on how many people believe it or how often it appears online. It depends on whether the claim can be tested, repeated, and confirmed under controlled conditions. Salt and urine interactions follow predictable physical and biological processes that are already well understood. Any unusual visual or sensory changes can be explained through natural mechanisms, such as chemical concentration shifts, decomposition, or environmental exposure. Assigning deeper meaning to these reactions is a matter of personal belief or cultural interpretation, not scientific validation. Recognizing this difference is important for critical thinking. It allows individuals to respect traditions or symbolic practices without confusing them with measurable reality. When people learn to question sources, examine evidence, and understand basic natural laws, they become less vulnerable to misinformation. In this way, awareness becomes a tool for protection, helping individuals navigate a world where viral content often spreads faster than verified knowledge and careful reasoning.